that movement happen. And just kind of feel those toes lifting. Feel the lift of those toes. Feel the arch. You feel more balanced actually with your toes lifted as opposed to your toes on the ground. A lot of times we don't pay attention to that when our toes are off the ground, we don't lean into them. Also, that arch is that much more activated, which activates that deep core of inner thigh as well as the pelvic floor, which is a really solid thing for our balance. Exhale and drop all 10 toes. And then just notice where you go off to. If you kind of release a little bit. Do you feel like you're going to cave down in like a little marionette? Or do you feel like you're going to just sway off to one side? So notice how your body reacts to that. Okay. All right. Go ahead and you've noticed what you've noticed. You've seen what you've seen. If you have water, keep water nearby. And that's nice to just take sips throughout. Let's take that ball under the center of the right foot. And we'll just start with that gentle rocking side to side. So keep the feet essentially parallel as you can. If there's a lot of tenderness, you can put that foot back so you have more load away, but it does kind of throw the balance of that just gentle rocking movement off. And again, you're not releasing all the way because you don't want to try to refine where that ball is. You want to try to find that ball right in the center, and you're just giving some nice, easy contact. If you want to stay lower and you don't want to lose contact at all, you can just kind of sway back and forth. Remember that swaying movement is kind of that neurologic, neuropathic kind of feeling of ease in the body. Go ahead and pause. Take your arms up. Take your arms down. Roll to your right and to your left. Bend your knees, swing your arms, and then bring your arms up. And then back down. Let's go to position point one. Position point two. So again, you're behind the knuckle of the big toe and press down and then release. And then second toe, press down and release. Third toe, make sure you're not on the toes. Fourth toe, and you can see those knuckles. Fifth toe. Let's do one more pass on all of them. First toe, position point two, second toe, third toe, fourth. And remember, you don't have to be spending a lot of time on your feet for your feet to kind of get a little annoyed with stuff. Let's go to position point 3A. Hide that ball, press down. And notice where your body's going there. And position 3B, really that insertion of the plantar fascia. Press down. And part of plantar fasciitis, itis, meaning kind of an inflammation look, and inflammation in the foot is problematic, meaning that there's probably inflammation in the rest of the body. And then let's go position point 5, press down, come back out all of the way, go back in about 50% and begin that glide side to side. Just allow that movement. You can feel that movement in the hip. You can get into it. You can be up. You can go a little bit quicker, a little bit slower, almost like a shear. And then let's begin to move that ball back towards the heel. And I'm just trying to find the edges all around, discovering what the ball can discover, feel what the ball can feel, notice what the ball is telling me. Good. Come back to position point 5, press in essentially 100%, and then come back out. And then pause there. We're just going to go right into the large firm ball. And we're going to go back to position point 1, and we're going to press down in position point 1. Just a couple of times, just to kind of get used to the sensation of that ball. Now, over the years, I've done a lot of different variations of adding this into it. It's just prep the tissue, then get into this ball. Then go to position point 2, underneath the knuckle of the big toe, press down. Position 2, underneath the second toe. Position 2, third toe. Position 4, and position 5. Let's go to position point 3A, press down. Position 3B, and on the outside position 4. And let's go to position 5. Now watch that pressure because it can get tight here. Position 5, as much as you can tolerate. It may be 100% pressure down for you, maybe less, come all the way back out, go in about 50% of that, and then move that ball back and forth. And that could be kind of a doozy for you. So remember, you're going tolerable pressure, not intolerable, not just grin and bear it. It's tolerable pressure. And so if there's some tenderness, that can work, that can be okay. And then you begin to move that ball to the heel as best you can and back. And reposition my ball to the heel and back. Now, noticing what you notice, maybe you have some hot spots or spots that maybe feel a little bit more tender, or maybe you feel like you have glass in there someplace, or maybe you have like a rough spot. Fine, bump up against that spot. Remember, when we're bumping up against it, this is the ball and this is the little spot. You're pushing against it, not pushing on top of it. So don't take that ball and push right up against it or right on top of it. Push up into that spot. So you're not over aggravating it. It's almost like that indirect theory. Press in and then just shear right up against that spot. We're going to do one more spot. So we're going to do 2 spots. They may be the same spot again. Pause and then glide. And then see, I'm going all the way. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm letting that ball get all the way to either side of my heel. So it's not just in the center of my heel, but I'm really investigating the entire heel of my foot. And then find another spot, bump up against it, and then give it a little shear. Then we're going to do a rinsing with this ball. Pause. And we're going to rinse with the large firm ball. 1, 2, 3. If that's not tolerable for you, of course, you're not doing it. And 5. Then let's go to friction. Now this might feel really nice because it's just really moving everything around. Go underneath the ball mount of the foot, even go across the toes, and then down. Like I said, in Pilates, you start out in equipment-based Pilates, you do a lot of work on the feet. And in a lot of classical Pilates, you do a lot of footwork before you do anything on the reformer, on the Cadillac, and on Iyengar yoga. There's a lot of footwork as well. All right, go ahead and pause. Let's recheck in with our position. Head up. Now, remember I said for me, I felt a little spiraled in. I feel a lot more even. Right leg feels a little bit plump. I don't feel like I'm on my toes. Lift my toes up. Feel pretty good balanced. I'm better than I was before. A little more subtle, a little more ready to go. Exhale, drop all 10 toes. Less of that feeling of wanting to just cave into my own weight. All right, let's take the ball underneath the second foot and rock side to side. So last couple of weeks, we did a real mini kind of a treatment where you just put the ball underneath the foot, just did this central position point pressing, and then some friction and moved on. So realize there's that entire spectrum. There's just sitting and reconnecting, and then there's all the other parts, the bigger pieces. And it's okay to do some, and then do others other day. Don't worry about it. Try to find some consistency with it. Go ahead and pause. Take those arms up, take those arms down, and then roll or rock or move yourself up. Good. Let's take that ball in a position point 2, under the knuckle, press down. Remember, we're going to go 2 passes on this, press down. Don't worry to rush it. You know what the script is now, but don't think, oh, I know what I'm going to do, so I don't have to really pay attention. The downside of doing the second side is you're always doing, tends to be a little bit less because it's the second side. Let's go back to the knuckle underneath the big toe and then the second toe. And I like to spread my toes a little bit, getting a little bit more space in between. Remember, we're trying to hydrate the tissue around the joint. Position point 3A, press down. Exhale, position 3B. Press down. Remember, this is soft tissue. Over and into position 4. Press down. And position 5. Press down. Good. Come all the way out. Go in You can come back in 100%, come back out, and then just go in 50, and then back and forth. So this should be pretty light. Again, remember, we're just prepping the tissue with a large softball on this one. And then let's begin to move that ball down into the backside of the heel. Now, I've seen all kinds of different ways people do this. You know, some people do it more like this. Some people are a little stiff. They're kind of afraid. Get some movement in there. Let the body be involved in it. This is all part of your mobility as well. You're getting some of that hip action in here. And I know it's obvious that you're kind of doing a dance movie kind of a thing, but just kind of feel that movement in the body. Pause. And then let's go into the second ball. Okay. So let's take that ball. Oops, I'm sorry. We got to do friction. My bad. So, and I'm sorry, shearing. So find a spot and then let's just shear. A little too much chatter. Forgot to stay on target. And then pause. Take a breath. Take that ball all the way out. And then let's move the ball off to the side. Good. And then let's go back to position point 1 with the large firm. Press down. Release, press down. Remember, you're just prepping the tissue to get used to the tension of this new ball. This might be a lot for this side in comparison. Pause. And then let's move the ball to position point 2. And then position point 2 behind the second toe, the third toe, the fourth, and then the fifth. Good. And come all the way in and down to position point 3A. But nice, good little press, release, and then position 3B. Press down. Ah, those are tender on me today. And then 4, press. Move to position point 5, where the arch meets the heel. We're going to press in, come back out, and then press in again. Pause, and then let's start that glide. Just side to side at first, no bringing it back to the heel. Just kind of around the top of that heel where the heel meets the arch. And then let's begin then now to move the ball toward the back of the heel. You're getting to either side of that foot as best you can. I sometimes think the small firm ball, or sorry, the large firm ball is some ways a little bit easier. There's just a little more contact and you can kind of control the ball. The ball doesn't squirt out from underneath you sometimes as easy. Find a spot. I got one way up here and then I'm going to shear. And you can always do a shear where you pause and then you just make a fist too. And press that ball up and make a fist. Let's do gliding one more time. See if there's any more spots in there. You can always go reattend back to that first spot that you found. You can do a different type of a shear at the top of the foot. Pause again, and then let's shear. And then pause. Whew. And then let's rinse. Rinse to the heel once, twice, 3, 4, one more time, and 5. Any friction. All right, go ahead and pause. Put those balls over there, standing nice and tall, head is up, and close your eyes. Well, for sure, my knees aren't rolled in anymore. Legs feel like I'm trying to get some fluid return back up into my hips. Exhale. Up all 10 toes. That stays real solid still. And drop all 10 toes. Exhale. Good. Go ahead and open your eyes. Hopefully that helped you feel a little better. Your little toes, your little pieces may feel different than what I have going on, and that's okay. So just notice what you notice and see what your body sees. All right, we're going to go right to the ground, and we're going to go right to an upper back position. Grab your roller. So since we did our rest assess, in a sense, upright. We're gonna get to the ground and we're gonna do upper back. So we're gonna give ourselves that chance to do our upper back sequence here. And so we're gonna be in the center and we're gonna be onto the side. So on your back. And for me, this is definitely a movement. So we did way away from the point of any tension. And then so we did very indirect. Now we're doing much more direct for me. So not that it's all about me or anything like that, but that's just where we are. So just where we are. Lift the hips up, tuck the pelvis, keep the ribs down. Take the hands behind the head, lay the head back into the hands. From there, lay the upper back over the roller. Let's get some couple of deep breaths here. Now, if this is too much, you can always take one hand, place it on your ribs where your ribs meet, kind of at your diaphragm, solar plexus. You can feel in there, make your sternocleidomastoid. Breathing. You just feel yourself soften if you can. Maybe there's tenderness here. Maybe it's just below your diaphragm. And on the back side of the body. And then so from here, let's just take that right arm up and tilt toward our left side. Remember, you're feeling where that movement is kind of inhibited, and then back into center, and then tilt towards our left side. Breathe, feel that rib cage expand, and then back into center. Let's lift those hips up. Then just 2 inches forward and back. Make sure you're not pushing your head forward. Making sure the head is rested. Pause. Pin the elbows to the ears. Push the back into the ground. You can drop the hips if it's easier. And then just rotate side to side. Kind of like you're itching. And then pause. Let's move the roller up or back just a little bit more. And then again, just a couple of inches forward and back. Breathe. Feel the body settle into the roller. And then pause. Drop the hips again, round the back. And then push into the roller as you're doing that shear. And then pause again. And then let's do one more position, right about 7th cervical vertebra, and then just back and forth. Watch your hair. I just caught my hair underneath there. One more. Pause. Let's fix my hair, fix my back. And then just, again, now my hips are up because it's too hard for my hips to be down and get into this position. Watch that you're not moving your hips, just the upper back. Hold, pause, and then let's, without rolling over your hair, let's make that rinse down the back. Reset the feet, bring that roller up, and then rinse. Reset the feet, reset the roller to the top of the back, and then push into the roller. One more time, hips high, push into the roller. I'm gonna reset myself, probably into that tree. Couple more weeks, that tree will be bye-bye. Got a nice clean slate back in here again. Let's make sure the pelvis is tucked, ribs are down, hands behind the head, and then lay back and breathe again. Exhale. Take your head up a little bit. Let's tilt to the left. And then center and tilt to the right. Good. And then center. Good. Roll off the roller and let's get on the roller head to hips. So roller right behind that cheek. Lift yourself up and lay on the roller. Of course, if you have a ponytail, take the ponytail out so your head can be as neutral as you can. If you're not fully on the roller, make sure you are, and then begin your gentle rocking. Notice if you're pushing or if you're falling and you have to catch yourself, or if you feel like you have more ease to one side or the other. So sometimes when we're in this position, I've had this before with a client. I have not had this before happening to me, but you could get a kind of a stitch or cramping really right where your liver is. Partly because when we're in this position, partly because we're working on our breathing and our diaphragm. It's all wrapped around our rib cage. The other part is you might be pushing against a nerve when you're on your back here like this. That's giving you a little cramp right there as well. And so just take your hands, place them on your ribs, take your thumbs if you want, kind of relax yourself as you're rolling back and forth, tilting back and forth 2 more times. And just take smaller breaths. You don't have to try to take and find the exact width of your rib cage. Go ahead and pause and soften. See if you've gained a little space in there. Notice your head, your shoulders, how your vertebra touching the roller. It should feel pretty connected all the way down. Bring those feet in so they're in line with your hips. Thumb to your belly button, index fingers together. Let the weight of the heel and the outside edge of the hand touch the kind of the inside bowl of the pelvis. Inhale, exhale, tuck. Inhale, exhale, tilt. Feel a little neck pull. Inhale, exhale, and tuck. Watch that your chin isn't moving. If you feel from the back, that's fine. But if your head's moving up and down a lot, that's probably going too fast or doing too much. You can have your eyes closed or open. Tilt. Inhale. Exhale and tuck. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale and tilt. And tuck. Let's come back to that tilted position. Level out the pelvis. Just take an awareness, kind of a look into the body. Feel what you feel. Take your right hand, place it on your chest. Left hand stays on your belly. Breathe towards your left hand. Breathe towards your rib cage. Breathe to your right hand at your chest. See if you can fill all 6 spaces. Exhale. One more time. Fix all or fill all 6 spaces. Exhale. Just take your hands down. Just stay settled on the roller. Bring your hands so your elbows are on the ground, but your fingertips point to the sky. Reach up from that position, almost like you're just going to grab something in front of you. Then reach further, taking your shoulders away from the roller, then settle back down. Reach up. Watch that you're not shrugging. If you feel like you keep shrugging, take your arms down a little bit lower and then settle. So if you feel fine and you're not shrugging, then just reach up, straight up and back down. If you're having a hard time with shrugging, then just reach a little bit more towards your knees. It's just a variation, not a modification necessarily, but a variation. A couple more. Maybe you can feel your collarbone moving. You can feel that subtle movement of the upper part of your scapula. One more time, reach up. Then let's take the arms overhead, circle around. This really is one of my favorite movements here. First of all, I feel very ballet-esque. Like I'm actually kind of an easy mover with kind of some delicacy. Most of the time, I just feel like a boat trying to shop. Then circle around. But it's just so smooth feeling. It allows me to hear what my shoulders are up to. It feels very fluid. I can find little little bits of movement in my shoulders, my elbows, my wrists even. One more time, circle all the way around. Just come back to that position with your hands over your chest. Bring your fingers now together and just pull the hands apart. Remember, you're letting the elbows bend and you're kind of keeping weight in your palms, like you have a ball in each hand. And then slowly recoil, come back together. Fingertips touch, then pull apart. Imagine having strings attached to your fingers. Breathe. And come back together. And then pulling apart. One more time, coming back together. Pulling apart. Open wide, palms are slightly heavy. Drop and curl. The elbows drop slightly, but not to the floor. Notice where your elbows, if they're pointed towards your knees or more towards just straight to the ground. Notice if you feel a lot of pull tension in your shoulders, bring your hands up a little bit more. So you're not really over moving those shoulders. Pause. The elbows to the ground, forearms drop and just settle. As it's comfortable, drop off the roller. Gently let the roller move out from underneath you and just settle there for a second. And then we're going to bring our hips right onto the roller. So throughout the day, most of us have to be on a computer at some level, which puts a lot of pressure and tension on our neck. Not just the back side of our neck, because our head is forward, but remember we've talked about the platysma, the front of the neck, getting weak. And you can see that in how we can hold our head. And so lift the hips up. So again, an indirect way to approach the head and neck is to go through the pelvis. So we're going to do knee into your chest. Pull that right knee into your chest. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take your left, I'm just going to switch actually. So your right foot is on the ground, your left hand is on your left knee, and you're going to push your hand. It's not going to actually move. You're going to just push the skin. Push the skin away as you pull this other knee in. So you're kind of moving in two directions. Your foot isn't moving anywhere, but your knee is slightly coming in. Just press away and release. Let's switch and do the other side. So again, just like you can move your skin, you're essentially moving the skin on the lower thigh, and then you're pulling the other knee into your chest with a little oppositional pressure. So pull in and press away. And then release. Let's bring both knees in. Place both hands on the tops of the knees. You're going to make sure your heels and your knees are mostly in line. So you're not back, your knees aren't in front of or above your hips. Arms are straight. Inhale. Exhale, press your hands into your knees and knees into your hands for the entire exhale. Release. Exhale again. One more time. Release the tension. Exhale. And release. Just let the knees drop into the chest. They should be relatively even. So your knees should be even. If you look between, your feet should be relatively even. Then we're going to lower the left foot down. Pull the right knee into the chest. Pull that right knee in. And then bring the left knee back up. So you're in a tuck here on your lower back. Extend the left foot up and then lower down that left leg, just like you're trying to paint the wall. Now your left leg shouldn't go below your left hip or the roller. Pull that right knee in, get nice and long, push chin towards your sternum, push that left heel out, pull that left heel in. So you're in towards your butt cheek, press the left heel out one more time, pull the left heel in, press the left heel out, and then take your right arm over your head and reach way up. Point your left toe, look towards your right arm, take a deep breath, and then you're going to bring your hips level with an exhalation. Exhale. Shh. Take a deep breath in again, and then tuck. Shh. And then bring everything back to center. Pause. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So drop your right foot to the ground. You're holding your left knee. And you're already getting a little passive stretch right here on your quadricep. So the idea of this movement is you're releasing that hip flexor, which is when you're sitting, it's short and tight and a little weak feeling. Pull that knee into the chest with a little stretch. Good. Now bring the right knee in, extend the right foot up, and then begin to lower the right leg down. Now, if your right leg is hanging well below, control it and don't let it do that. Try to reach out so it's not hanging below the line of the roller. You're in a slight tuck here. Take a deep breath. Exhale, chin towards your sternum, push your heel out, pull your heel in. Notice I'm not moving my left leg at all. Push your right heel out, pull your right heel in. One more time. Push your right heel out, pull your right heel in. Take a deep breath. Take that right arm, hold with your right hand. Take your left arm over your head. Reach. Exhale, tuck this time. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, tilt. Exhale, tuck. And then lower everything back to center. Knees into the chest. Drop your right foot down and your left. Extend your right leg out. Just get a nice little length in there. You can feel this a little bit opening, a little stretching. You can even rub right kind of at the outside edge of your belly at your obliques. Right foot in, left foot out. Take your hands. You can kind of at your side, you can kind of feel your obliques and feel your belly. And then release. Let's lift the hips up. Drop the hips back down, the rollers out from underneath. I want you to do just a real easy back thigh shear, back and forth. Make sure your bottom is on the ground. You can have those legs separated, move, but remember, you're just really just pulling the skin in and out. Pause and just let yourself rest back into the ground. Couple breaths. Walk your feet in. We're going to do a standing reassess. If you want, you're more than happy. You can lay back and just kind of give yourself a check-in, see how you're feeling. It's not a full the same assessment or reassess because we didn't do this to begin with, but you may notice a pretty level body. And then let's stand back up gently. Hopefully, if you weren't feeling well, maybe your arm or leg or back or shoulder wasn't feeling well, that this was suitable for you. All right, just level out those feet. Go ahead and stand nice and easy and go back to your original assessment point. Maybe you're not holding yourself as tight, or maybe you're feeling just very grounded into your feet. Take a deep breath. Lift up all 10 toes. Ideally, very centered, very connected. Exhale, drop all 10 toes. And open your eyes. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhaling through. One more time. Right back up. and exhaling down. All right, done and